What's good, everyone? I'm back with another video. Now we're talking about the Superman, and we've seen reports about the net profits that it made. Now, just for a spoiler, it did more than Man of Steel. I'm gonna be messy because I was told that this movie was a super flop. They always bring up what Man of Steel made a movie over a decade ago, try to put Superman up against Superman. Now, what Man of Steel made back then, I'm not even counting inflation. Even with inflation, still made a more net profit than Man of Steel. For back then, Man of Steel, what it did, 42.7 million. That was a net profit for Man of Steel. The movie they said did 670, and they said Superman's not going to do better than that. But it turns out, now how does this work? Right, even with inflation, that's probably 60 million. Right, so you telling me tickets being cheaper back then, more people was going back then to the movies. The comic book movie industry was at a boom back then. So that's 670, which only equated to 42.7 million in today's time, probably around like 60 million now. And so, okay, so like the numbers, like the gross numbers, that's good and all, but it always comes down to what you do net. That's the true success of a movie, right? Both were the first movies into the new into the DCU, right? So you had the DCEU with the Man of Steel, and James Gunn is this new DCU right here. So Man of Steel 42.7. Superman. They're saying it's going to make a net profit of 125 million. Now we know, man, regardless how Man of Steel didn't get anywhere close to that 100 million based on theatrical stuff, right? Didn't. And so, if you want to read this report for what the movies that net profit it talked about the Sinners, Superman, the Minecraft, what it brung in, and so yeah, and remember, Variety's been been around for a long time. So it's not some grifter site that you go to where most people just throw numbers out their ass, talking stuff they don't know. These grifter sites. No, I'm going by what the trades are saying, the numbers they're putting out. And look how fast this sequel or follow up has got greenlit. So fast, right? So as a whole, Warner Brothers has been, I said this earlier, I believe Warner Brothers, as of right now, put out better overall movies than Disney. Just look at it, and if you don't believe that, which is art is subjective, but far as what it's doing at the box office, outside of Lilo and Stitch, what it hasn't. Just look at the numbers. Outside of Lilo and Stitch, it did $1 billion. Minecraft did over 950 something million, right? We look at what F1 did, that collaboration between Apple and Warner Brothers. I might add, you had all of the Sinners, the Conjuring, which they didn't even add the Conjuring though, but it had a net profit, I believe, 600 million. So, and we know that Superman 125 million. Now here's for a reference though: Superman Returns, net profit 40 million. Man of Steel 42.7 million. Batman versus Superman 105 million. The Justice League 60 million. So we look at that. So okay, so those, you know what? Okay, Batman, it made 100 million net profit. Okay, that's nothing to score. That's good. I mean, Justice League, it made 60 million profit. Yeah, it made more than Man of Steel net profit though. So that's what it comes down to, the net. What are the net profits that you make after everything has been taken care of? That's your return, a net profit of that. Right. So yeah. So those are good. So look at hold up. I need to go to, it was another post I believe I had where I believe the Batman also did over 100 million, if I'm not mistaken. That did over 100 million. So like the biggest ones, what was it? Oh, here's it right here. I'm looking at it right now. Okay. So I'm gonna just break it down from 2013 present, right? So you had the Joker. It made a net profit of 437 million. That was $1 billion. Aquaman, 260 million profit. That also did $1 billion as well, right? Wonder Woman, 252 million profit, net profit. The Batman, which came out, I believe, in 22, that did 177 million net profit. Great. Suicide Squad, that might have been the first one. I'm not sure, but one of them. It did 160 million net profit. Shazam, that did 75 million net profit. That's more than the Man of Steel's 42.7 million net profit. And obviously the Batman versus Superman, that was like 105 million profit. Now we look at James Gunn, where people say it was going to flop, it wasn't going to do this, it was going to do that. You know, looking at the projections, whatever, 125 million net profit. And we talk about not growth, net profit after everything, after studios get their cuts and all of that, right? So from all of that, so remember, you cannot make a net profit if you didn't cover that the marketing or the production budget. So that's everything being covered with the studios getting their cut, everything, right? So just pay attention. That's so 125 million net profit. You know, that's pretty good for the first movie. So look, the Batman did 177, right? Net profit. Okay, that's really good. You know, so when people bring up the Man of Steel, it couldn't do Superman couldn't gross more than a Man of Steel, but it made more money, at least like 3 times more than it. And if you add inflation, let's say it's like 61, it made more than double the money the Man of Steel made. That's with inflation. Basically, if you add their net profits up. So what is it now, right? So come on. So. Yeah, so that's like I said, a big W for James Gunn and his new DCU. See, you got all these people running mouth, don't know what they're talking about it. Probably could pass a math test, a basic math, but we're going to try to tell you how all this stuff works. But no, but as I was saying, Superman was doing well, and also another thing we gotta know is so. What I'm thinking is this, I may be wrong on this though, but DC might have got a bigger cut at the box office from domestic for the Superman. I think they might have got a bigger cut. So if they're looking at making it like a net profit of 125 million for the Superman movie, just in theaters, we're not talking about, just in theaters. I mean, we're talking about once the DVD comes out or the possible digital sales. I don't know, but definitely at the DVDs and that didn't even come out yet. But yeah, so. This is a big W for DCU, and shows that James Gunn definitely knows what he's doing. If people are trying to question, James Gunn not the right man for the job, but just look at his first DCU movie, basically a start of a new DCU. It made more net profits than Man of Steel. Made more. However you want to slice it, it made more. So I want to come and bring that because there'll be so much going on, all this toxic stuff going on the internet about Superman being a bad movie, whatever, that it's not making its money, and we see the net profit according to Variety, a trade. That's what they do, break all this stuff down. They have direct line with these companies and all this stuff. And so yeah, and you see how fast that this got fast tracked for a sequel, whatever. So that should tell you one thing about that. So. Yeah, so there you have it. This Superman outguns, the Man of Steel, outguns Batman versus Superman. So yeah, so it beat it beat the previous Superman, at net profit, the Man of Steel. Even if you add inflation, it still beats it by 2 times the amount. Even if you add inflation for Man of Steel, it could just like being at the 42.7 million, that's probably around like 61 million. So it still beats that by at least 2 times the amount. So yeah, so James Gunn definitely cooked. Whether you like the movie or not, doesn't matter. What were the net profits of it? That's what matters to the company. You could say you didn't like it or not. That's cool, but a lot of other people did like this movie. It was more people. It was a bigger majority that liked the movie that didn't like it, and the numbers does show that when you look at the profits they made off of that. Yeah, like I said, it didn't have to do $1 billion. I keep telling people it didn't have to do $1 billion. It didn't lose money on this film. I told you it was making money off of this film. Try to tell the people that the engagement was real high for this, and so with that being that, I believe like the studio, like Warner Brothers, DC Studios, whatever, they could dictate the cut from the theatric because look what's happening. Why they keep going to the movies, buying these tickets, or whatever, being in the theaters, that means they're probably buying concessions foods and all that stuff. So yeah, so DC dictated probably a higher cut, and like a lot of tentpole blockbuster films can do that. And so I believe that's what happened. And that's why I believe you see this profit, why it's like that, the net profit for in the theaters for Superman. So yeah, that's all I got right now. I just want to bring that to you. A lot of misinformation going on. A lot of people was hating on this movie, wanted this movie to fail. Just to let you know, I actually won a bet, a $50 bet. You know, someone better be that the Fantastic Four will outgross Superman worldwide. But I try to tell them, listen, man, it's Superman. The sport's not as big enough, but maybe Marvel will get their issues sorted out. But it's all about Superman. You see all the money next to Superman, and like domestic, right? You know, it made a killing over there. You know, people challenged James Gunn that he couldn't do it outside of the MCU, right? That was the sentiment. Oh, James Gunn is do stuff too goofy, this and that, whatever. The fans have responded not only by the theaters, but also with their wallet. The best way you can respond to something is speak with your wallet, and the majority spoke with their wallet, and to that effect, DC has a net projection profit of $125 million for this Superman in 2025, outdoing the Zack Snyder Man of Steel with only $42.7 million, and a Batman versus Superman with $105 million, and some other movies as well. So I'll say this though in closing: James Gunn restores faith in DC. Hopeful the DCU is back on track. You got Peacemaker, obviously Superman. You have Supergirl's Clayface coming next year in the theaters. You got the Lantern show. So yeah, plus animations, they working on all that stuff. So yeah, they on a roll, and Superman, you know, I would say as far as the live action goes, spearheaded this movement for the DC. You know, and they showed up. The fans showed up. They returned back to the theaters because it was some lame movement by these Snyder Bros, whoever you want to call them, wallets closed. But as we see, the wallets was open, and you know this is all music to my ears. As me being a lifetime Superman fan, from the Super Friends show, Superman animations, all the various live action TV shows, movies, comic books, whatever you name it, video games, whatever you name it, I was there. So just to see this character be well respected and received and shown the proper care as the icon, is the blood, sweat, and tears of DC, the anchor of DC, you know, and is back in its rightful place. So that's all I got for now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out here to the next one. Y'all be good. One.